errands this weekend, stop by a Richfield shop to get a Chicago dog for half the price. That is today's super bargain. Do we know the Vikings are playing the Bears this weekend? This is a tad bit of poor taste.
Yeah, that's a way to say, listen here, we own your Chicago
We're going to eat your hot dog.
Yeah, we are.
Okay, locally owned Cone Brothers serves up over 20 flavors of ice cream, vintage candy, and bites to eat near 66th and Penn. Stop by anytime in September to get a Chicago dog for $1.95, which is half off the regular price.
There's one thing that we can all agree on around here. We don't like the Bears. Right?
That's probably pretty true statement.
We can agree. Hey, make sure to ask for the Twin Cities Live Super Bargain. Cone Brothers Ice Cream and Candy Shop is open from 1 to 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday and 3 to 9 on Sundays. We have details on the deals page of our website.
Every Saturday, he takes us to a place where the women are strong, the men are good looking, and the children are above average. Garrison Keillor's show, A Prairie Home Companion, entertains audiences around the world from the Fitzgerald Theater right here in St. Paul.
Well, the show's 39th season kicks off this weekend with a street dance and meatloaf supper, and we are so excited to welcome to Twin Cities Live Anoka native Garrison Keillor. Nice to see you, Garrison.
Thank you for mentioning Anoka.
Well, of course, had to give it a little shout out. We can't believe that you haven't been here before. Have you been holding out on us on purpose or just waiting for the right moment?
I just wanted to see who else is doing live shows in town. You're brave people.
Yeah, we're
in the same line of work.
We are.
Well, so Garrison, we're season 39. It's going to kick off on Saturday, and we were just visiting back in the green room. You're writing the script right now for the show.
That was you who came back
to the green room?
Yes, it was.
Did you have the right glasses on?
You look so much taller back there. What I want to know is, what is vintage candy? I've never heard that phrase before. Vintage candy. Am I doing a vintage radio show?
I think you kind of are to some extent, aren't you?
Is that right?
I think that's a good thing.
A heritage radio show?
Listen, vintage is very in these days, Mr. Keillor. It really is. So, okay, writing the show right before it happens, this is your MO? This is always how you've done it?
It's a bad habit that has served me well. You wonder what other bad habits might have served you well had you only hung on to them, you know?
So when you did it the first time, you probably thought, oh, I can pull this off, and then that's how it continues. It's got to be the truth.
No, it's just that you need to get a certain level of adrenaline. It's the fear of public humiliation that pushes you to prepare for this.
It's really good motivation for everything in life, isn't it?
It is. The fear of bringing shame on the head of your family.
And of all of Anoka.
All of Anoka, yes. Even the suburbs of Anoka. Even Coon Rapids. And so, yeah, I've got a lot riding on this. I didn't know how much until I just came here.
Okay, so you guys are doing the show. It's a live show. It goes on 2 hours. Right. Are you editing on the fly as you go on the show?
I'm sometimes reaching over the actors' shoulders, over their left shoulder, because they're holding the script with their right hand. And I'm reaching in and I'm just Xing out lines.
But we don't see that because, of course, we're just hearing it.
That's why I'm in radio. There's so much that doesn't pass muster. You don't have to wear pants in radio. You know?
We're so glad you wore pants today for us. Thank you.
I put these pants on for you.
That was great.
Shoes and the whole works, yeah.
So the 39th season, I mean, do you get kind of like butterfly, anxious, excited, or is this such old hat that you're so used to it and comfortable with it?
Well, it's not old hat, but you don't want to think too much about it. And stage fright just doesn't get you anything, you know. It makes your voice go high and trembly, and that's not a good thing for a man, you know. So you just don't think about it, and I'm sorry you just made me think about it now.
I'm sorry that we're bringing up so many stressful things for you. Garrison Keillor is never coming back here.
No.
And he's going to tell all of his friends.
So, Garrison, you basically have shaped people's perception of what Minnesota is for almost 40 years now, because for somebody who's in New York or somebody who listens to the show somewhere around the world, their idea of what Minnesota is what you have told them. Have you ever thought about that before? I mean, that's crazy that everyone's perception of Minnesota comes right from you.
I haven't thought about it, but I suppose that, you know, that we all do our part. You know, whenever you travel outside the state, you know, people hold you to account. But they ask you where you're from, and you say Minnesota, and they try to think of something, you know, somebody they know from there. And what they say 9 out of 10 times is, it gets cold there, doesn't it? it gets cold there. So all I'm telling them is what they already think about Minnesota. Why fight it? You know, I build up winter, even through these mild, painless winters that we've been having. These pleasant, enjoyable winters compared to the winter of 1951, which I could tell you about.
Please do. How bad was it?
How bad was it? 40 below was normal. 100 below, you had to take precautions. We burned our garage. We burned books, you know, for heat. I never took my clothes off for 3 months. And, I mean, I could go on. Bedwetting just absolutely disappeared in Minnesota. None of it. No, it was a great winter. So I just adding to what they already think about it. You know, it's flat, and you have brutal winters. Okay, we'll go with that then.
But the whole idea and what you project about Minnesota is we are smarter than most of the people, and we are better looking.
We are.
We're all Lutheran.
Yes, we are.
Some of you are, but you're actually from South Dakota. So
one of us is up here, and we just like to pretend.
No, I don't think I claim that we're smarter, and if I did, I mean, who would believe it coming from me? You know, I'm just a guy who's been around for a long time, you know.
So the idea of telling stories is obviously so universal. It's been going on forever in every culture. I mean, in terms of being a storyteller, was this something that you thought very young that that's what you wanted to be? Did you have a natural inclination towards it?
No, but I listened to old people tell stories. I started hanging out with old people after I dropped an easy fly ball. I was playing left field in a softball game. I was 11 years old. I should have caught it. It bounced off the heel of my hand. We didn't have gloves, but you know, nobody did. And I was so humiliated that I abandoned people my own age, and I hung out with my uncles. And if you asked an old man what the Depression was like, what the war was like, the Battle of the Bulge, the Normandy invasion, they were so gratified, and they would tell you at great length. So I grew up listening to other people's stories. And then after they all died off, then it's your responsibility to take their place, I think.
I think that's so fascinating that comes from a place of humiliation, because a lot of kids, you know, maybe have that dark point where they're sort of feeling low about something, or feeling like they don't fit in, or feeling even bullied about something, and being able to take that place and then gravitate towards something positive and pleasant, it turned out to be incredibly rewarding for you, and probably could be for other people.
I guess, although I don't think of it in those terms. I think of it in terms of my family being the only family to slaughter chickens in Brooklyn Park. My father had this idea that you could buy chickens cheap from a hatchery and bring them home and slaughter them in your backyard on the lawn. We were the only family that did that.
Now urban farming is very trendy, Garrison Keillor.
Is it really?
Yeah.
But I don't think people are going to be cutting chickens' heads off in their backyards in Egan and Apple Valley. But my family did. My father had this principle. He wanted to save money. And I was the one who caught the chickens with a coat hanger around their ankles and brought them to the chopping block. And I looked away, and there was this whack.
Whoa.
This was all in a suburb of Minneapolis. I don't know anybody now who slaughters chickens. Do you know anybody?
Well, I have chickens in my backyard.
You do?
Yeah, but I'm not planning to slaughter them there, but they are living there and laying eggs. Yeah, you can come over and see them.
Are they doing something for you?
Oh, they lay eggs. I had them for breakfast this morning.
They do?
They
really?
do, yeah.
I understand now how sometimes your show kind of goes off script a little bit. So we just stay on script, Garrison, with all due respect. I want to let people know the 39th season starts on Saturday.
Right.
You guys have run out of tickets for the year,
Yeah.
the live show, but you guys are starting something called the Rhubarb Show.
It's a late night show. I mean, not that late, you know, 9 o'clock. And And it's more of a vaudeville show, you know, with the Wurlitzer organ and some local bands and jugglers and musicians and magicians, that sort of thing. So we're going to see how that goes.
Well, thank you so much for being here. It was a treat
to
have you here.
Honor.
This was so fun. We're delighted to have you. And you can be caller number 5 or 6 right now to win a pair of tickets to see Garrison and the Rhubarb Show on Saturday, September 21st at 9 p.m. You can listen to A Prairie Home Companion live on Saturdays from 5 to 7 p.m. on Minnesota Public Radio. You can come over and see those chickens anytime you want, Mr. Garrison Keillor.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We'll let you get back to working on your script now for Saturday's show. Thank you, sir. Well, still to come, we head out to the parking lot to learn how to make a bacon cheeseburger dip.
Delicious.